Oh yeah, this video we're going to take a look at the M60 from the folks at Allegheny Knifeworks, coming up on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. So, this is the one I've been waiting for, by the way. The folks at Allegheny Knifeworks were kind enough to send me one of their M60 big old knives here, and you may remember we've looked at a couple of other knives from Allegheny Knifeworks in the channel, and we looked at I guess we would say baby bear, mama bear, and papa bear. This, I'm calling this one the papa bear. This is the biggest one we've looked at so far, and it is, man oh man, you know, let me give you a preview. I'm just telling you right now, I'm gonna go out on a limb and predict this thing is balanced. Well, we'll find out later. So before I start acting like a stone cold Allegheny Knifeworks fanboy, let's take you down the old stump top. We'll talk about the specs of this thing, and then we'll get to doing some of that nice stuff. All right, this is the Allegheny Knifeworks M60. The M60 features a 6-inch blade of either D2 or A2 steel. This happens to be D2. 3/16 of an inch thick. Has an overall length of 12 inches. Features a hard moly coating, saber grind, and hand sculpted handle scales. This is one of the premier knives in the Allegheny Knifeworks lineup. It ranges in price from about $285 to about $305 for the one you see here. Okay, so that's some of the specs of this M60 knife. Just for way of comparison, I did want to show you, let me get that out of the way. This is the other two knives that we've looked at on the channel. Oh man, I just touched my hand and cut it. Unbelievable. This is the M40 and the M25. And so as you can see, baby bear, mama bear, and papa bear. So this is the big daddy right here. So I'll put these out of the way again, and we'll take a look at this. So the very first thing I want to show you is this is a big knife. Again, it's 12 inches overall length, and it says 3/16 inch thick. They have a 5/32 lightweight model available if you want that, but it's got a full solid spine here. Then it goes down to this upper swedge, which is still not sharp, but it just helps with the piercing ability. This would be an excellent combat knife, tactical knife, or just all-around knife. I think it'd be a great survival knife. It's got a nice sharpening coil here. Not really, that's really what it's for, just so you can get a very good edge, and that's also like a secondary little point for doing things. And then a really big handle. For me, I've got enough space on this handle. I can reach back here and get some good leverage for chopping, or get up here for some closer work. And we're going to take a look at that next. But before we do that, I want to show you real quickly the sheaths. This knife actually came with two different sheath options. The first one is pretty much kind of their standard, and they build these in-house, by the way. They're tactical carry sheath, which basically has got lashing points on it. You can lash it to a vest, you can lash it to whatever you want to lash it to. You can put a tech lock on here or anything like that. And so that's just a very good way to protect the blade and protect yourself from the blade. And then they also have this option here, and it's basically the same, almost the same sheath, except it's just the corners are squared off. And then it's got actually these Blade Tech moly attachment clips on the if I can figure out how to open the thing. Yeah, here that you slide right through moly and attach it to anything with a moly or pals type webbing, whatever. So pretty good, and it's got really good retentions. So and they also come with they give you this lanyard here also. It's got a couple of little skull beads and stuff on it. So anyway, that is the sheath. I want to make sure I mention that. So again, this is a 6-inch blade, a full 6-inch blade, big old handle. So first thing I want to do, since it is a big blade, we'll just start with some chopping and we'll go from there. Let me grab a piece of wood here. We'll just chop through that one. How about that? Got a pretty good bit of knots on it too, but let's just see. It's dry. It's dry. Okay, we'll say right off the bat, this is not a chopper because most of the mass is here, so I mean this is not the primary function of this knife, obviously, with a clip point blade like that, but it got through there okay. Next thing I want to do is we're going to do a little bit of batoning here with it, but just because, and since it's already split, we'll go across the other direction with it, and we'll I'm going to put this thing at an angle to you just so that I don't have to readjust the camera. Maybe you can see me knocking down into it like that. Hopefully I won't hit the camera with the baton, but we'll just see. Stay. Okay, so we're there. So I'm not even getting the full leverage on this thing because I'm going against the grain, but you see we went through a couple of knots there. Nothing spectacular, but it did fine. I mean, it's a 6-inch blade, 3/16 inch thick, full tang. It's going to baton. So get that out of the way. Let's try another little test I like to do. We'll, now we don't have a hammer pommel or exposed pommel or anything like that, so that's not really the design of this knife. It does have a really good hand guard here, so if you had to use this in some kind of a situation where you're stabbing anything that might get blood on your hands, whether you're defending yourself against a grizzly bear or somebody else, you know, it keeps you from running your hand up there. So that now I think what we want to do is, I've got a piece of cedar right here, a little short piece of cedar. I like carving on cedar. It's a little better than this dry crumbly poplar. So let's just see what happens with that. Did I show you, by the way? Yeah, I might as well, right? I'm sure. I haven't even tried this one yet, but I'm sure. Yep, we got hair. So there you go. And this sure is looking like some rain all of a sudden here. So we're going to rush this bad boy up and hurry up. So we'll take the cedar. If I can split it down, get to that pretty red stuff in the middle. Oh yeah, isn't that pretty? Look at that. Wow. So, pretty good little pile of cedar curls there, I would say. Let's get you a close-up of that because that's pretty. All right then, so the next step in the evaluation process would be to find my ferro rod. So we got the strayed big fat ferro rod that we're beta testing for them. So we'll try that one now. We'll just put it right down in the middle of all this stuff and see if we can get us a little bit of fire going up in here before it rains. Oh man, I know you're supposed to pull, right? Like that. Oh wow, what a spine. I may have to get some fat wood though, because this may not quite do it. So for those of you who keep saying I should pull instead of push, that's why I don't, because when I push it, I know I take a risk of knocking it over. When I put it in here like this, I can really throw some more heat to it than I can, and really direct the heat. It may not do any good, but I can direct it. There we go. Just takes it a minute. Got to get some of that heat built up there. But man, that cedar smells so good when it's burning too. Can you smell that? Man, it is great. So, and it's pretty too, isn't it? Okay, so we did the chopping. It's okay for chopping. It's definitely not a mass forward kind of knife, so it's not the best chopper in the world. Batoning, it did great. 6-inch blade, you could ton 4 to 5 inch stuff with this, no problem whatsoever. Carving, man, it has a blade edge, like very, very nice, just very, very nice. And the spine is almost as sharp as the blade, which is, in my opinion, a really good feature to have. And it's got this really sharp, really drop clip point kind of design with a swedge on it, which makes it really good for piercing, whether you're holding it, stabbing it, or maybe if you had to throw it at something. I don't know why in the world you would ever want to throw a knife, but I know some people do. Chuck Norris got both his legs cut off once. He just walked it off. So anyway, that's kind of all the use testing. I do think we are fortunate here at Survival and Purpose to have a very high-tech, state-of-the-art testing facility, and we're going to put this thing into that facility right now and take it to the balance testing facility, and you can see it is, my subjective testing is very balanced, but we're going to make sure we actually put it on the equipment. Okay, that is a quick look at the M60 from the folks at Allegheny Knifeworks. Big old, really nice, really well made knife. It's not the cheapest knife in the world. This thing is around the $300 range, give or take a few bucks. But the quality is very exceptional. Again, it's handmade and I don't know if I mentioned this, but you know, Justin over at Allegheny Knifeworks is a protege of LT Wright, so he learned from one of the best in the business, and it shows in his workmanship. If you're looking for some really high quality, well-made, handmade knives, and they've got knives down around the $100 range too, so they've got a wide variety of knives here at Allegheny Knifeworks, but they all share the same quality and attention to detail and workmanship as this one. I like this one, I gotta tell you. You know I like big knives, so I knew I was gonna like this one right off the bat, and I knew it was gonna be balanced. Some things you can just tell. So anyway, I'll put a link to Allegheny Knifeworks in the description below. If you're on a mobile device, just click the little more arrow, whatever it is, to check it out. Be sure and tell them I said hello over there, and tell them thanks for sending me this so I can show it to you. And I'm telling you, thanks for watching Survival on Purpose. Thanks for subscribing, thanks for clicking that thumbs up, for sharing this video with all your friends, and thank you so much for doing all your Amazon shopping through the Survival on Purpose links. survivalonpurpose.com/Amazon. Can I just cut my hand again? Anyway, that just takes you straight to regular old Amazon. You pay regular old prices, use your regular old Prime membership if you have it, and it helps benefit the channel just a little bit financially, and I really appreciate the support. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time. Bummer, dude. I believe we're calibrated for a slightly smaller knife. Have I got a drool on my chin?